Hey y'all, it's Sandy again. I've had a bunch of friends of mine ask me to try to teach them how to sharpen a knife, so I kind of got the idea that I'd try to do a video on it, and maybe y'all can pick up some tips that'll help y'all do a better job of sharpening your knives. Some people just don't have the knack for it. Takes a lot of practice. I've been doing it since I was probably 15, 16 years old. I was taught by old timers, so I kind of do it the old-fashioned way. Let me get this thing set up where we can kind of see what we got, and we'll go from there. First thing you want to do is make sure your knives are very clean. And when you get through using them, make sure you wash them off. If you'll wash them off, most of the time, it'll hold an edge for a long time. But there's something that happens if you leave like blood and stuff like that on them, that it breaks the cutting edge down some way. I'm not sure whether it's just build up on it and it takes you a while to get all that cleaned off or whatever. But let me get this thing set up. It's going to be a little jerky till I get everything kind of situated. And maybe we can make this thing work. Let's see here. That might work where you can see it. Okay. This is an old oil stone. This oil stone's probably 75 years old. It belonged to my dad, and it got handed down to me, so now I've got it. It's got 3 stones. It's got a coarse stone, and then it's got a medium stone, and then it's got a fine stone. Now you want to use all 3 of them in the process of putting a really good edge on a knife. Now we're going to start out with the coarse stone. This is one of my knives I use in the skinning room. And it's an old buck knife. Very good steel. Does very well. But even my buck knife will get dull. What I like to do is I will take the knife, and instead of doing the old-fashioned going back and forth like this, which is a good way to do it if you're wanting to put just a general edge on a knife for using cutting rope or plastic, aluminum, I mean, whatever you're going to cut with it, that's a good general way to do it. But if you're going to be handling meat, skinning, stuff like that, a good old-fashioned way of sharpening it is you'll start out and put it down. I'm going on these edges because this is dished out and this is very thin right in here. So I'm going on these edges kind of to help wear those edges down a little more. But I go on this side, I go in a clockwise rotation. And that kind of keeps your cutting edge where it needs to be. And you want your knife to actually feel like it's trying to cut the stone. That's how you know you're doing a good job. And I'll do it back and forth like that for a minute, and then I'll come over here. I'll do the same thing, but when I flip to this side, I go counterclockwise. That way your cutting edge is consistent. And what I'll do is I'll do this usually about twice on this coarse stone. Once on one side, and then once on the other side, and then back again. The more you do it, the more you will learn what it feels like, what it sounds like when you're doing right on it, and all that stuff. Now, let me get my rag over here. Alright. Now, we've got that done, and you can feel it trying to bite, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I've got 4 different knives here, and I'm going to put an edge on all 4 of them. And what I'll do is I'll use the coarse stone on all of them at the same time. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. That's twice on each side on that one. Alright, I can feel it starting to bite pretty good. Now we'll get this big one. I think I'll rotate my stone around. There's oil down in the bottom of this little pan, and it'll wash off the metal fibers that are left on the stone. Kind of cleans it a little bit. Alright, we go clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Alright, that's twice on both sides on that one. It's getting a good bite. Alright, now we'll use this one. This is one I call my zipper. That's usually the one that I cut up the hide and get it ready to start skinning the hide off. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Alright. Now that one's got a good edge on it. Alright, so now we're going to clean that off. I usually will turn it around twice, which kind of helps wash that little area of metal off and clean the stone. Now we'll go to the medium one. Now this one hasn't been wore out so much in the middle, so I will usually start from one side and take and go clockwise again. And then counterclockwise. Clockwise. counterclockwise. All right. Oh yeah, it's getting there. Getting a good bite on it. All right, let's do this one. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. All right. Oh yeah. We're getting there now. This old buck skinning knife. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Getting good. All right, last one on the medium grade. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. All right. That has it in real good shape without even going to the finer stone. But we're going to use the fine stone and put a really, really good edge on it. And when you get a really good edge on it, it'll usually last you a while. So, basic, same principle. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Now normally, what I will do when I've got the fine stone is I'll do it one more time on both sides. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Oh yeah. That right there is sharp. Alright. And I'll usually take and wash that fine stone off between each knife that I do. That way each one gets a real good edge on them. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, oh yeah, very, very good edge. Gotta be careful with it now because you'll cut yourself. Alright, wash it off again. And it's a mineral oil that I use in this. So it'll do a good job of carrying off the metal shavings. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. All that little gray stuff is the shavings off of the blade, getting your edge on it. Oh yeah, excellent, excellent. Wash it off again. One more time. Now do the last one. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. I don't know if y'all can hear the blade sounding like it's trying to cut into the rock. That means it's doing what it's supposed to do. All right, let's see how that one feels. Oh yeah, now them are ready to go. I like to try to wash the stone off again before I put my cover back on my oil stone setup. Alright, hopefully y'all might have picked up a tip or two. Something that'll help you keep your knives good and sharp, because a sharp knife makes the work easier. It's a lot safer. And a dull knife is more apt to cut you than a sharp knife is, because it will slip and then cut you. So just thought that that might be something that would be helpful for some of y'all. Hopefully it is. If y'all want me to try to do something else on knives or virtually anything, tying hooks on, y'all let me know. I'll be glad to see what I can come up with. Hopefully this has been a helpful little video for getting your knives good and sharp. Y'all remember to thank the good Lord for all your blessings you have. Keep your line tight and your aim true. I think I said that backwards. Let's try that again. Keep your aim true and your line tight. Y'all remember, if you got any cows or hogs or sheep or goats or whatever you need cut up this summer, I'm here. If you mention this video, I'll even knock 10% off the processing. But you got to mention the videos, that you've seen the videos. I'm not going to ask you if you've seen them. You got to mention them to get the 10% off. So, this is Sandy's Outdoors. Sandy's Outdoor Enterprise is the name of my business. I'm a meat processing business. We're located at 8896 Knox Bridge Highway in Canton, Georgia. 30114. The shop phone is 770-479-4588. And remember our motto, you kill 'em and we chill 'em. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time. Y'all remember to share, like, smash that bell. Let's grow this thing. Let's make it big. I sure would appreciate it. Love all y'all. Love the Lord. Love my family. And I love the United States of America. God bless us all.